Hello, I'm Jana and welcome back to the Crafty Corner. This is part 2 for this week's Funky Junky Inspiration Avenue, where our theme is It's Ideal. So in part 2, we're going to be creating our vignette. We've put together the parts and pieces, so now it's time to assemble the completed scene. If you'd like to see which supplies we'll be using, go ahead and pause here. All right, let's head over to the Crafty Corner. So in part 2, we're going to be putting together our vignette. We've already painted this. We've lined the interior with some background paper. Now we need to drill a couple of holes in the top. We'd already pre-marked these in the last video, and this is going to be where we're going to be adding the swing element. So I've got a 1/8 of an inch drill bit here, and we're just going to quickly drill through the top of the vignette so that our swing will have a place to land. There we go, nice and easy. And the second one. All right, so we have our holes drilled. Now we can work on finishing the exterior of the box. So on the exterior, we altered some beautiful collage papers with a bit of distress ink. So we're going to be tearing these up and gluing them around the exterior of our box. So let's just go ahead. I'm gonna split these off. Okay. So I'm just gonna take that and we'll start working our way around. There. It's not gonna be perfectly even, but it will be good. Okay. So that will be a good start. Let's go ahead, we'll get some collage medium and start gluing these pieces down. So I'm just going to go in with my finger. As always, feel free to do whatever works best for you, whether it is a brush or a sponge. I still prefer my finger. I think it's faster and easier to apply the collage medium with. And easier to clean too. So many benefits to using your finger if you're getting into some messy collage. All right. So I'm just going to place this on here, and then we'll do another layer of collage medium right over the top. Anything that's hanging off the edge, I will get to that later. I just want to get the collage papers down and move on to the next phase. Okay, so there we go. Got that, and we'll just keep working our way all the way around. So this isn't meant to be perfect. This is just collage. We're just getting pieces on here and we're going for a grungy type look. All right, so let's take that, put that here, more collage over the top. So let's finish gluing down this piece and then we'll toss things on fast forward as we complete the rest of the box. All right, just keeping that flat, smoothing that down. And again, I'll get the pieces hanging over the edge after things have had a chance to dry off a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and kick this on fast forward as we work our way around the rest of the box. All right, we've got the outside of the box all nicely decorated with some floral collage papers. So that is good. Now, the next thing I want to do is to add the swing. It's not ideal adding it right now, but we need to in order so that I can camouflage it later on. What I'm going to do is poke a couple of holes back through the collage paper to those drilled holes that we put in earlier. So I just need to find where I put those holes, and then we can add our swing into here. So I kind of did a really good job of covering them up. So I'm just going to go into the underside and poke our way through. There we go. Nice and easy. There we go. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can leave this to the end if I don't do the outside of the box until the absolute end of the project. So let's try that. But at least now I've got the markers for where the swing is eventually going to rest. So let's go ahead and turn this. And we're going to turn our attention to the inside of the box. Now, on the inside, we've got 2 shelves. And these are going to need some decoration. I've got a hot glue gun heating up off to the side that we're going to be using to add in some fake moss. And we also have this ledge that I'm going to be using to give ourselves just a little bit more space at the bottom of this vignette. So the first thing that I want to do is alter the base right here and down here. Now, with the moss, I want to build up some dimension. So we're going to be pulling in some tinfoil. We're going to use that to build in some fake hills, and then I'll be able to use glue over the top and start adding in moss and other leafy greens. All right, so just some regular tinfoil. Take that. And we'll crumple it up and see what we get. I want to build like a bit of a hill right here. So crumpling down the tin foil, kind of doing like a bit of a curvy bit. And this is going to squish down really nicely. So even though it looks like we have a lot, we really don't. Okay, let's see. Kind of want to poke that back into the corner. There we go. Just trying to get the shape that I want here. I'm just using the die pick kind of to squish things down. It doesn't need to be perfect. I just want a general shape that will allow me to build off of it. Okay. There. Okay, so not bad. That would be the first shape that I've got going. And I want to do a bit more down here as well. So let's see here. Just keep that tilted. Let's get another piece of tin foil, and I want to do kind of like a donut shape around the edge. So again, just taking some tin foil. And put that right back in the box. Set that aside. And we're going to start squishing. Okay. So what I'm thinking is I want to have this kind of come down and around and out. So I'm squishing this kind of into a horseshoe shape. Yeah, like that. That's what I'm thinking. And we're just going to press that right in. There we go. Okay. So again, that's going to give me a good foundation to work off of and to build things up with the moss. So that would be the start to what I am initially planning. Now, the next thing I want to do is add in some texture here. And to do that, we're going to need some grit paste, but not just any grit paste. I think we're going to go with some of the crypt paste. That's going to give us some really nice texture, and bonus, it's going to be in a different color that's going to kind of mimic stone, which is just what I'm trying to go for. Okay, so we've got our crypt paste. And as you can see, the texture in this is going to be absolutely wonderful. So we're going to just add this on to each of the layers, and then we'll be able to start building up our scene. So I'm just going to take that tin foil out, and we might as well just spread a nice even layer across the space. There we go. That will add something nice to this. Now, the great thing about Idea-ology is that no matter which season we're in, there are different elements from all of the different times of year that work beautifully together. And the same holds true for many of the products by Reinkers. The crypt paste is technically from the Halloween line, but it made its way into the everyday works. So it is a wonderful thing to use on, let's say, buildings, for stonework, just to add a bit of grit and grunt to gears. There's so many different things that these elements can be used for, and they're really not confined to just one time of year, which is why I love working with all these products. Okay, so that is looking pretty good. Got some texture going on. A lot of this will get covered up with the greens and the fake moss, but I like having all that texture around. All right, let's do the ones down here. So take that, spread that out along here. There we go. I'm using one of the Ranger Tim Holtz palette knives. This is the little mini one. It's skinny and easily gets into corners, which is why we're using it right now. Okay, good. Got that. And then I also want to take care of this little platform. Okay. There we go. Just kind of spreading this on like butter on bread. And really the consistency is pretty close to butter. It's very smooth, not very stiff, and just has a nice flow to it. Okay. Looks like we need a little bit more. There we go. One of the neat things about all of the texture pastes is that each one has a different feel to it, and they are just really interesting in the way that they can be applied and how the effects come out afterwards. All right, so good with that. I'll probably add just a little bit more texture paste to that once I've attached that piece on the bottom. So let's see how our hot glue gun is doing. That should be good. Take that, and we will add some hot glue. I'm using the SureBonder hot glue gun with a fine detailer tip. Makes applying glue so much easier to projects. Okay, good. Now I'll just attach that. Give that a second to set up, and then I'll add a little bit more texture paste over the top. There we go. Just trying to avoid some glue ooze. There we go. Just gotta smush that around a little bit. Okay. Good. So now I'll just go in with a little bit more of that texture paste to cover up that little line of hot glue. No need for that to be poking its head through. There we go. Just covering that up. Good. All right. Now let's go in and start adding our tinfoil pieces. So just put the lid on that. I'll make sure that I put some press and seal on this before putting everything away today. All right. So for this, we're just adding some hot glue to the base of our tinfoil. I'm being pretty generous with this. Most of it's going to get covered up, so if there's glue ooze, in this case, it won't be a big deal. Okay, take that, put that in, smush that down. Good. And let's go for that second piece. So, want to make sure we've got glue all over. There we go. A bit here, and some around here. There we go. For vignettes, I love using hot glue. It is the quick way to get things put down, and it makes building relatively fluid. Okay, there we go. Just a bit of glue ooze, nothing spectacular. That's going to get covered up easily enough. So, next I want to go in with the moss. It is time to start building up our scene. So I've got a whole bunch of different craft moss pieces here, and that should work out quite well for what I've got in mind. Got some of these big pieces, and we've got lots of this little green stuff, which we're going to be putting in quite a few places. So let's go ahead and start adding this in. What I'm going to do is take like a little bit of the moss, and then we'll use some hot glue, and then I will carefully poke it in. I'll probably be using the Sizzix die pick for a bit of an assist when I'm adding all of the moss into different spots. Okay, so just take that, and start adding that in. Ooh, this is going to be a little bit messy and a little bit time consuming, but this is the part that I really enjoy when we're working on vignettes. I love the construction and I like seeing the scenes just come to life, because until then you just don't really know where your scene is going. So we're going to go ahead and put this on fast forward as we continue to fill out our scene with all of these mossy bits. So right now we're kind of in the hot mess phase. We've got a lot of the scene bulked out, but now we need to start adding in the details to give this a little bit more refinement. We're going to start working on the bottom section right here, and we're going to be pulling in the toadstools that we altered earlier, along with some of the beautiful yellow flowers. So right now what I want to do is kind of just roughly figure out where I want to place things. Let's see here. I like these a lot. These are cool. All right, so something like that, I guess. I could put one over here. I'll get a little bit more dimension, and then the little one can go right up front. Ooh, okay. Definitely liking that. And before we place those, let's go ahead and just start adding in all of the little yellow flowers. So I'm just going to get some collage medium off to the side so I can kind of just dip the flowers and then place them. And this gives me some time while the hot glue gun is heating back up to get ready for the toadstools. Okay. So just getting some glue off to the side. There we go. And let's just take the flowers, dip, and then add them in. The mushrooms will fit around them, so I'm not too worried about that. I just want to make sure that all of the little bits of tin foil are completely covered, and the flowers will make some great camouflage for this. That is going to look so good. I'm really happy with this. Okay. Just getting the flowers in here and there. Oh, I absolutely love the Idea-ology florals. They are so fun, and they add quite a bit to a scene. Okay, moving this one right along. Let's put that there. Okay. Oh, looks like I need a little bit more glue. Going through this a little bit faster than I thought I would. But I've always got plenty of collage medium on hand. All right. Let's see. I want to put a couple of the flowers in the back. There we go. I'm trying to create like an enchanted little fairy grove with all sorts of little magical points in here. And the flowers, I think, are definitely helping with that vision. Okay, put that there. I think I want about 2 more and then I should be good. We'll just move this over here. And let's take this piece and we'll put that down near the front. There we go. Ooh, I like that. I like it a lot. Okay. So now let's grab our hot glue and add in those toadstools. So I'm just going to put a nice generous amount at the base. And if I need to, I can always cover it up with more moss later or even a flower. So take that. We'll put that right here. Okay, let's take the next mushroom. Got that. More glue. There we go. All right. And let's take that one and put that right here. There we go. That will work out quite well. I might need another flower to camouflage that bit of glue ooze, but not a big deal. Just making sure that's going to stay in place. All right, let's take our next one. Lots of glue. There we go. And let's stick that one right here. Ooh, I like that. Leaning against that. That'll work. Okay. There we go. Just making sure that everything is going to stay in place. There we go, and we'll stick another flower right there to just cover that up. Perfect. Alright, and now that itty bitty one. That one's going to go right here. Okay. Now the scene is starting to really come together. I am liking that quite a bit. Alright, let's stick another flower right in there. There we go. That's tilting a little bit. Okay, I think we are good. Alright. And another flower to hide that piece. Good. We've got our mushrooms. We've got our little scene. Oh, I am liking that quite a bit. But I am thinking I might need to add some extra pieces, but not there quite yet. So let's just keep moving it along. All right. Now we're going to turn our attention to the upper section of the vignette. Now, what I want to do is I want to add lots of hanging vines along the upper part of that wall. And I'm thinking that we're going to be doing a bit of die cutting, and I'm going to be using the Garden Greens Sizzix die set. And we're going to use that to create some hanging vines. I've already got a whole bunch of paper set off to the side, so we'll be back in just a moment after I've had a chance to die cut a whole bunch of things to play with. Okay, so I now have a good handful of garden greens, and we're going to be using these to add some dripping vines along the back of this. So we're going to be pulling in the hot glue gun again, and we're just going to start layering these up and see what we can do. All right, so got the hot glue gun. Now I'm just going to kind of just add glue to the top of this and maybe a leaf or two along the way, because we don't really need a lot of glue. The main thing is to just get this on here and start building the scene. Okay, there we go. There, nothing too complicated. Yeah. Glue strands. That's going to be a recurring theme. Okay, so let's just keep building. Okay, so we've got our leafy greens in place. Definitely liking that. It's still a bit messy, but the more we build this up, the more interesting this is going to be. So now let's go in and start adding our flowers. So again, I've got flowers off to the side. I'm just going to dip them and tuck them in to the scene. And that should be building up some more visual interest here. Okay. So lots and lots of little flowers, and we'll just keep adding those in. All right, that splash of yellow is already making this so much more pretty. There we go. Let's see. We're just going to kind of work our way around at the base first, and then I will start adding some of the yellow flowers into the climbing vines. Okay. So for all of the wonderful greenery that we have going on, I die cut these out of Sizzix Garden Greens, and I have a bit of a scrap box going, and I've divided that recently into the major color families so that when I'm looking for scraps, say green, they are super easy to find. And I just pulled from my green stash, and here we go. We've got lots of beautiful greenery that I was able to die cut from bits and pieces. I love finding different ways to store materials so that when I'm ready to make, it is that much easier to just grab supplies and run with an idea. And I think that dividing useful scraps into color families is a lot easier when you're ready to go die cut things. Because before, I'd be digging through the box trying to find all of the greens, and I would lose so much time. So definitely happy I made the switch. Now, for categorizing everything together, I saved a bunch of large Ziploc bags, and then I was just able to stick like colors into that. And now I've got a nice stash of rainbow ordered colored scraps. Okay, getting there with the flowers. I love how the flowers are adding just a little bit more interest to the vignette as we place them. Very happy. The flowers are definitely giving me the fairy tale vibes that I was hoping to get with this project. Okay. And we've got plenty of flowers, so I don't need to ration them. I can just place them as I want. There we go. The colors for the flowers included Squeezed Lemonade and Harvest Moon. So they have a little bit of a shimmer to them, but they're mostly a beautiful bright yellow like the Squeezed Lemonade. Okay, let's see. Put some down here. There we go. Just turning this and adding flowers as we can. I do love adding flowers to things. It adds just a little something extra. Okay, let's put that there. Now I think I want to do like a couple of little clusters. We've got several spots where clusters would look really good. So why not? We have got plenty of flowers. Okay, great. Let's see here. Oh, I need some more flowers on this side for sure. Stick that there. There we go. I'm just going to keep turning the vignette and working until I've got all the flowers in here that I might possibly want. Oh, back corner. There we go. And I can do a couple little flower clusters near the back. Why not? Definitely have the space. Okay. There. Let's see. Maybe another flower over here. Yep, we can tuck that right there. Okay. Yeah. That is looking so good. I love it. Okay, let's add that there. I might actually have some leftover flowers. I am very surprised. But they won't go to waste. I will definitely find other projects that I could use flowers on for sure. Ooh, there. Okay. Oh, looks like I've got some space up top. That'd be a good spot for some more. Okay. Take that. And another one. There we go. Yeah. I think I am happy with this. Now we're going to be adding in the swing. This is the element that I've been super excited about adding to our vignette. So, just going to straighten out the wires, make sure that that is nice and straight. And we're going to take that first spot and we're going to poke it through right there. And I'll get the other one, and I just kind of have to figure out the exact length that I'm going for. There we go, running that out. Perfect. Okay, now I'm just going to bend that to save my spot. And we'll turn this. Let's see how that looks. Just adjusting a few of the flowers. Ooh, right there. Okay. So we got that dimensional element going. Now at the top, as you can see, we have some hangover of the wire. So I'm just going to snip with the wire cutters, and I will camouflage that momentarily. But in the meantime, we've got the swing, and I'm super happy about that. Okay, I'm just gonna move a few flowers out of the way. Got the swing right here. Right, now to add the paper doll. So I'm still kind of playing with the angle of this, making sure that I like it. There. Trying to keep the wires straight. So we're going to take some hot glue and we're going to take our lovely little ballerina And we're going to add her to the swing, just like that. So we want some glue at the base and just a little bit on her hands. Okay, now we're going to carefully put this down and attach her. All right. Perfect. Ooh. That is quite magical. So now I'm thinking I want to put a few of the flowers along the swing. Let's see. I'll just grab some flowers and add those in. Why not? There we go. Need a little bit more glue over here. All right. That turned out even better than I was thinking. Really happy. Okay. And let's see. Can add a few more at the top. Good. Oh, yeah. Whoop. That one ran away. Let's see. Tuck that right there. Maybe another one over here. Just get the glue. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. And I'll put a couple more on the other side. Yeah, just like that. And maybe I can put a few on the wire itself. Let's see. Put that right there. Oh, is that going to stick? Yeah. Okay. That works. And one more on the other side, maybe near her hand. Oh, where's that flower going? Just have to take the die pick and maneuver that flower around just a little bit. Where's that one running off to? I want that right here. Okay. And one more further up the wire. Yeah, right there. I don't know if it's going to stick. Oh, maybe I'll just get a little bit of hot glue. That would stick that down quite well. All right, just a dab of hot glue. There we go. And we'll stick that right there. Okay. Oh, where's that running off to? Oh, that one didn't quite want to stay put. It's okay. We can try again. Let's see. Got that. I think I'll try putting the glue directly onto the swing this time. And then the flower. All right. There we go. So, all in all, not bad. So the next thing I want to do is to embellish this a bit further. I want to run some tape around this part right here to cover up that raw edge. And I also want to do some crackle paste around the outside to mask the wire that we put in. And then we'll grunge it up with a bit of distress crin. So first, let's take care of the tape. And let's see, what color tape do I want? I think I want to use some of the green tape. That will be keeping with the theme. And if we measure that out pretty closely, I think I'm going to end up doing this with hot glue. Normally I'd use the ATG gun, but just given how small a space I have, and I'm not quite sure if the tape's going to stick that well to this. So we're going to use hot glue this time. And I'll deliberately hang over the edge. I can snip that once the tape has a second to set. So we're just going to take that and stick that right down. There we go. Nice and easy. And then we just take the scissors and cut off that little extra bit. Take that. There we go. All right, so this should be pretty easy. We're just going to run that all the way down, thin glue line. Don't need a whole lot. Just want to get that tape on there to add some visual interest. Okay. Got tape. There we go. Sticking it down. Okay. Nice and easy. All right, and just a little bit more. Here we go. And I should be able to tuck that in without any issue. There. Okay. I like that. A little extra tape. And snip. Good. All right, one more side. I think I'll just do a little bit of glue first, and then I'll add more glue as we continue down the vignette. Like just like that, and then I can just add this quickly. Oh. And run that down. Smush. Just want to keep that all in place so we don't lose anything. All right, and now a bit more glue. All right. Pushing that down. Very good. Just a little bit more to go. And just a little bit of glue. Good. And sticking it down. All right. That wasn't too bad. It was a nice, easy way to add some decoration. Okay. Now I want to add in the word typed band. Life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale, and that is going to go right here. And I'm going to use hot glue to attach it. But to cover up these ends, we're going to be pulling in some of the new screw pieces. And that should add a fun touch of vintageness to this. All right, so a bit of hot glue right on here. There we go. Let's stick that right on here. Oop, that's hot. Okay. Good. Oh, I've got a flower trying to run away on me. All right, so we have our sentiment. Now I want to bring in the screw heads. These will be perfect to cover up the two little holes on here. So let's just open this up and grab a couple of the screws. I think we're going to go with the medium ones. Those should be just about the right size. And I want to go with the star head. So got 1 and 2. All right, and we'll just close the box back up before the screws end up all over the place. All right. And again, a little dash of glue here and here. Perfect. Let's add those little screw pieces in. All right. Take that, just drop that on right here. We'll take the other one and drop it right here. There we go. Not bad. All right, now we're going to finish up the exterior of the box. Before I add any texture, I wanted to go in with a few of these strips of the cello sticker tape. This is going to add just a little bit of visual interest and give me a way to also hold down those wire pieces. So we're going to take a few of the stickers, which are absolutely amazing. I love these. They have such great vintagey vibes to them. And we're going to stick some of those in a few strategic places, like right there, to add to that vintagey vibe. All right. So just taking these, peeling them up, and sticking them down on a few spots. There we go. Let's take another moderate sized one and kind of put that around. I like that. Very cool. And turn. Let's see. Could do a nice long one down the side. There we go. Just like that. Yep, that adds the perfect amount of vintagey vibeness to this. Okay, let's see. I want to do another one kind of going across like that. And one more over here. Okay. Now it is time to add some crackle. Yeah, really like the way that's looking. Okay, so for the crackle, we're going to be pulling in some of the Tim Holtz Ranger Distressed Crackle Paste Translucent. Now, I really want the outside of this to have a really beaten up look. We already went in with the hammer and knocked some dings into this. We've gone over it with some ripped collage paper and we added some cello tape. Now it's time to add some crackle. So I'm just taking a scoop and we're going to run that down the side. We don't need to put this on heavy. We just need enough that we're going to get a great crackle effect out of this. So just smearing that on and going on pretty haphazardly. Don't need to be neat with this. We just need the medium on here in order to work the crackle magic. Okay, so nothing perfect, just on here. Now, as for drying time, I would estimate anywhere between 30 to 40, maybe even up to an hour for dry time. It has been raining today, so I'm expecting there's quite a bit of humidity still in the air, and I happen to be in Lower Quebec, and it is typically very humid in our area. So I always try to give myself extra time for drying, just because I know that the weather can really play a factor on dry time. But if you're in someplace a lot warmer, let's say Arizona, then you can expect your dry time to be substantially shorter. So just be prepared. Weather conditions will vary. Okay, that's good. Let's turn. Now we'll get this side. Okay. So, just getting that on here. All right. Being pretty haphazard with this. We don't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be even. We just want some delicious crackle going on. All right. I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out with the crackle. Okay, I think that is pretty good. We've got crackle on here. Now we just need to give it some time to work its distressed magic. After, we'll come back and alter the crackle with a bit of walnut stained distress crayon, because why not? It will give it a more aged look. All right, so we should be back somewhere between 30 to 40 minutes. So we're back now, and the crackle paste that we've added is now dry, but it doesn't show up very well yet. We've definitely got some great crackle going on here, but we're going to need to highlight the crackle with some distress crayon, and we're going to be using the walnut stain crayon. So we're going to take some of this, we're going to scribble it right down onto the media mat, and then we're going to take a little bit of water and give that a good spritz. Just like that. And now we can take our blending brush. So we've got one of the distress brushes here. I like these quite a bit. They've got the bristles, and we can adjust how much bristle we want out. So we're going to take that crayon and we're going to run that over the side of the box. And this is going to smush the crayon into the crackle and highlight that wonderful crackle goodness on here. So that's going to help age this up and make this look just a bit more vintagey. So just getting that and then smooshing it in. That should give us some interesting texture. So let's just turn the box and we'll do the same on the other sides. Okay. There we go. and turn again, making sure that we're picking up all that wonderful walnut stain crayon. And adding that in. Okay. So that should be pretty good. I'm hoping that's going to pop the crackles out very nicely. All right. So now that that's down, I'm just going to wipe a bit of this off so that the crackle pieces are the sections that are highlighted. Because we don't need all of this to be completely grunged. We just mostly want the crackly bits. So just go ahead. Just making sure everything is nice and smushed. There we go. Ooh, the crackle's gonna look really good when we're done here. Okay. So just smushing in a little bit more around here. I can definitely see some more crackle, and I just want that distressed crayon to really highlight it. Okay. There we go. So now I'm just gonna take a damp cloth and I'm going to rub the extra bits off. So I've got this. We'll just spritz a little bit right here and wipe off the extra. There we go. So now we can see a lot of the crackly bits. That's just what I was hoping for. Okay, just wiping that off, working my way around. There we go. And now we can see all of those wonderful crackle pieces. All right. So let's set that right here. So the last thing that we're going to be adding is our heart. And we're just going to add some hot glue to the back of this. And then we will stick that right down into the vignette. So just applying a little bit of hot glue. Don't need a whole lot. That is going to end up right here. Perfect. Let's see. Might want just a little bit more glue. Maybe a dash of collage medium. Not sure that's sticking as well as I want, so I'm just going to tuck a little bit of collage medium right behind that. There we go. That should do quite nicely. So this would complete our It's Ideal vignette. Let's go ahead and move this over and we'll take a closer look at some of the details. Thank you so much for joining me here today at the Crafty Corner for this week's Funky Junky Inspiration Avenue theme of It's Ideal. Today we've created an enchanting fairy tale scene using a variety of new and old ideology pieces by Tim Holtz. Hope you've enjoyed today's project, and until next time, happy crafting.